Welcome back to Talk That Talk with Meesh and Jay. I'm Meesh. To the left of me is my bro, Jay. Look, if you are new here, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are true here, you already know what to do. Get your smokes, get your drinks, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Your ass should already be
subscribed.
Y'all
already know.
Hey, y'all should know.
Subscribing. Hit
like,
that button.
Comment, subscribe.
Right now.
Get us up in the algorithm, y'all. Please, please.
Yeah.
And our goal is 1,000 subscribers, y'all. We are on our way to 700. So if you don't give about 1,000, at least get us to 700. Yeah. Okay? That's all we ask. All right? But we love y'all. Please, like. All right? And thank you to those who have been subscribing and who have come back to see us. We appreciate you, y'all.
Most definitely.
All right. Well, we about to jump right into our first topic, and that's going to be Savannah Craven.
Man.
The Savannah Craven interview. So I'm gonna let Jay take this off because you know he got some we want to meld on it.
Man, look.
Real quick.
I'm up here scrolling on my phone. And you know how, and I got TikTok, but you know I be doing the Instagram reels. And it probably came from TikTok. But anyway, so I see the girl, Savannah, she out there in New York, up there in Harlem. Doing street interviews. You know, that's what people do nowadays, social media.
Yeah.
You do these street interviews. It could be about anything.
Very risky.
Yeah.
Street interviews.
Some of them be risky. Yeah, some of them be risky. A lot of the ones I see be in L.A. They do a lot of them in L.A.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so this girl basically pulled another young lady to the side out in Harlem and started asking her questions about pro-life and what did she believe in and things of that nature. And then wind up getting a two-piece biscuit. Bow, bow.
Man.
Bop, bop.
And you know the girl arms look heavy as it was. Y'all. Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie.
She was a big joint.
She was a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And when I tell you the target on that, was perfect.
It was on point.
She ain't even like the girl wasn't even prepared because usually if you're gonna be out in the street talking shit to people, you should be like ducking and dodging. I didn't see none of that. I ain't see none of that going on with the ducking and dodging. But here's the thing, y'all. Real quick. I can see how that could have escalated because I think that topic is a touchy subject.
It's definitely touchy.
Very sensitive subject.
Two things. Politics and the Lord and God.
Yeah.
Of the two things you want to kind of watch yourself.
Yeah.
Watch yourself.
You don't want to talk to everybody about these things.
Especially
and I think
people you don't know.
Yeah.
Come on.
And she, at the end, she was basically, because the girl did say, because clearly the girl who was being interviewed was pro-abortion, okay? She was pro.
Definitely. She is all the way. Get rid of them.
Unaliving the baby.
Yeah.
Okay? And then of course, the interviewer, she was not having it. Every time she said anything about, hey, go ahead, off the baby. It's all good. And she was like, oh, so you just okay with them? She was like, yeah. And the girl was giving some good points, about why she feels like if a mother is in a bad situation or if a mother, if she's in a bad situation, however she got the child, if it's a bad situation for her, she should have the option to unalive the child. I'm not going to, for me, of course, looking at that, I would have been like, I do get it though. It depends. It really does depend. Like it's a fine line for me on that. Like I don't really agree with abortion either, but I think that if you was just unwanted baby was just dropped up on you because you was like raped or something, or maybe it's either the mother's life or the mother's life or the baby's, because that's the thing too.
Oh yeah, that's definitely happens. A thing. It definitely happens.
I think that's where I say that I'm pro. So I'm not exactly pro-life in that way, but I am pro-life, meaning I expect that if you get pregnant, that every baby should make it here. If it's within God's will for the baby to make it here. But the way the girl was saying it, she was trying to explain to her, and the girl just wasn't hearing it. It's like she was the type where she like, no, under zero circumstances shall you unalive a child. And then she started going into God, and the girl was saying, well, I'm not quite a Christian. My lineage, meaning my family, they're Christians, but I'm not. And all of a sudden, like it just got deep because she was like, I'm not the one that said I would unalive a child at a daycare and unalive. And then all of a sudden the girl was like,
It just touched a nerve. It just hit a nerve out of nowhere.
It was more like a bit. That ain't what I said. Baba.
It was really cute just saying I'm an effing idiot. That's so mean. But I think that your point of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child. Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused. That's not the point. What I'm saying. That's really.
Yeah.
It was kind of like you didn't get my point, so now I'm about to just bop you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's what happened.
But them New York girls are rough now.
Yeah, they're great. They're
real aggressive and rough. You gotta watch it.
They're rough around there.
Yeah, gotta watch. And what she should have did was cut that interview off soon. Soon they start getting a little negative, a little aggressive. She should just cut it there. But no, the interviewee Savannah wanted to keep chasing and keep pushing and keep tapping her, and then she just mop. Now. Personally, I mean, for me, that's just my thing. Whatever choice a woman decides to make is on them.
Yeah.
That's just me. But when you do these interviews, I don't care what you do, especially you in New York, you in Harlem, you in a black neighborhood, you don't know people. You roll up on people, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Who you interview, especially with those type of touchy subjects. Mm-hmm. Now, the girl was wrong. She should not put hands. That's not the way you do things. You don't solve no arguments or solve anything by hitting or punching somebody.
She could have just stopped talking.
Yeah, and just walked away.
Yeah.
Called her a B or something. Mm-hmm. And, you know what I mean? And just walked away. But hitting her with the 2-piece, what you got out of that?
Right.
What you got out of that? And that's just to say for all the other YouTube interviewers, and I'm not saying we might not interview down the line. Be careful who you interview. Watch what you talk about, because there's a lot of people do get mad at the interviewer about things, especially celebrities.
Absolutely,
there's certain things they don't want to be brought back up. You know what I mean? But you got to bring it back up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So, it's old stuff. It's like you trudging up trauma, though. Mm-hmm. Some of that stuff is attached to triggers, and when you trigger people, you don't know how they're going to come off or how they're going to react to a trigger. You can't tell someone how to react to a trigger, especially if they hadn't dealt with that yet. How did she know that she hadn't herself already had a bore or two? You feel me?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's true. She could have done it.
Yeah.
And so therefore, some women who've done that, they deep down inside, some of them regret it. Some of them know they did what they had to do. Some of them are devastated that they even had to do it.
And they have to live with that.
And they have to live with that, which is, yet again, everybody's choice is their choice. Mm-hmm. And you, guess what? Whatever choice you make, you got to be okay with it at the end of the day. You got to make peace with it at the end of the day. It's nobody's business what choice you choose to make.
But you. And then you have to make that choice with God.
That's right.
And talk to him when it's time.
That's what I said.
About why you made that decision. And it's only you.
Yeah. It's
ain't nobody else. Not your mother, not your father, not your sister, not your brother, not your friends. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not even pastor in church.
Yeah.
It got nothing to do with it.
When you fit to take your last breath, it's all about what you thinking about.
Yeah.
You know, and that's nothing against nobody. I feel like if you, guess what? If you okay with what you did, guess what? You good.
There you go.
That's how I look at it. If you okay with it, you good. You didn't do nothing. You feel me?
You ain't did nothing wrong.
As long as you okay with what you did, it's all about what you feel. So that's my opinion, but I do think I agree with you. Like, she could have just stopped the interview at that point. She would have been like, you know what, you not getting me, so I'm gonna just go ahead and roll out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. I see where this is going. Let me peace on out. But everybody is not that way. Some people have learned that their anger, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And boom, she figured 2-piece in her would solve that problem. Since she thought, you going to embarrass me on this camera, I'm about to bop you in front of everybody now. Right. Now everybody see it. Now I done went viral, sis.
She was
I'm done.
Bleeding profusely from that because she was done. She had her glasses on, so she must push the glasses, and she was done in. She was crying, and the other girl just went the other way, just walked the other way. And further into the video, which probably we don't have, the cameraman chased after the girl. Was like, "What are you doing? Why you doing?
Well, I'm willing to bet that there was no more interviews that day.
No, definitely wasn't.
She intended to do more. That was it.
No, that was and then she's gonna think probably twice. I mean, she probably keep doing it if that's her passion.
Yeah, she's gonna do it.
She's just gonna watch how deep she goes next time
with it. Yeah,
with it,
because there's triggers. I mean, you have to understand that. You got to be more careful. in situations like that. People get triggered.
Most definitely.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anything else on that one?
Ah, man, look. Don't get too pieced out here. Open no interview. Please don't.
Or better yet, murked.
Yeah, that too.
Because that is what our next topic is about. Okay?
I got to hear this one.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with this one, so I'm learning right now.
Yeah. Our next topic is dealing with Anthony Karmelo, 17-year-old Anthony Karmelo, and 17-year-old Austin Metcalf.
Was it Karmelo Anthony or was it Anthony Karmelo?
It's Karmelo Anthony. I'm sorry, y'all.
Only reason I know because the basketball player name was C.
It's
Karmelo
Anthony with a K.
So he
Karmelo
must be a YN, and the Pops must love Karmelo Anthony, the basketball player.
Absolutely. You could pretty much bet that. Okay. All right, y'all. So we're going to get into that story real quick, and we're going to discuss it and get into it. Real quick, I have a little something. Just so people who are not familiar with the story can get familiar with the story.
The UFAA has obtained new court documents revealing how Austin Metcalf was stabbed to death at a track meet in Frisco. Police say another teenager had fresh blood on his finger when they found him at Kirkendall Stadium.
The affidavit shows that when officers arrived, Karmelo Anthony told them he got into an argument with Metcalf, and when the arresting officer said he had the alleged suspect in custody, Anthony replied, "I'm not alleged, I did it."
But Anthony told officers he only acted in self-defense and asked them if Metcalf was okay.
Several witnesses paint a different picture, and Metcalf's father told Matt Howerton he is not buying the excuse.
I had a dream last night, and Austin came to me and said, "I'm okay." It gives me peace. Doesn't mean I don't hurt.
The last 24 hours, unimaginable for Austin Metcalf's father, his mother, his twin brother.
Right now, I'm really numb, and I really don't feel anything. I just have to function.
Metcalf, just 17 when he arrived at Frisco ISD's district track meet Wednesday. His final breaths taken before 11 a.m., police say, after being stabbed to death by a fellow Frisco ISD student, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, now charged with first-degree murder.
My world's a little shattered.
Okay, yeah. And rest in peace to Austin Metcalf, because and I gotta say that because I'm a decent human being, and I know a lot of people just are like, so what? It's not so what. A life had to be taken. A life was taken, not that it had to be. Right. A life was taken unnecessarily, in my personal opinion. I don't think under any circumstance, unless it's my life, your life, should anyone's life go in any circumstance. Okay? That's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Like with Friday.
Especially
what he said.
You young like that.
Especially when you're young.
You ain't live a long life at all.
Yeah. You know, what Pop said on Friday. You live to fight another day.
Yep. Hell yeah.
You know, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But, okay, before I even jump into all of that, so y'all heard it. Basically, Karmelo was at a track meet. He went under a tent. They said it was a heavy rainstorm happening. He was under the tent and he was chilling, minding his business, doing nothing. All of a sudden, Austin came over there, and he also has a twin brother. They came under the tent. They claimed they saw him. They singled him out. Felt like he didn't belong there. Austin's mother would say, "Hey, he's the guy that does the right thing," and he felt the need to go over there to him and tell him he needed to leave the tent, whatever the situation. Well, tried to tell him to leave the tent. Of course, Karmelo refused to leave the tent because he does legally belong there. He is at the track meet, you know. And then all of a sudden, an altercation ensues between them. It's unclear what exactly happened, but from what Karmelo says, he told him to touch me and find out. Touch me and see what happens. And to go ahead and still touch him after he say that is crazy. He went and touched him, and then he got minked up. I mean, not even minked up. He got shanked up, put it that way. Well, not really shanked, because he just like hit him in the chest one time, and then he ran. He like, in the heart. And then he ran.
What's the other boy name? The one that got shanked?
Austin.
So Austin, they was good to have it back and forth.
Yeah.
Or something, maybe a little
Because he was
disagreement.
because he was telling, he came to Karmelo telling him he need to leave the tent. So imagine you just chilling at a sports event, even though this is a track meet. You ran track, right?
Yeah,
You wanted a track meet. Two white boys roll up to you. One of them saying, you got to go. Get up out of here. You like, hold up. I belong here. This is where I'm at. You see what I'm saying? And then he's saying, no, you don't. You got to go. Now, Karmelo is like, hey, I'm not just about to get up and leave just because you tell me I got to go. Because I belong here. So that's what happened. Dude, he told him touch him and see.
Well, it sounded like to me it was way more than that.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Exactly.
If something was said, there was way more than what we know.
We know.
That's right.
It does
get
sound
him
like
to just jump out and do that is way more than that and deeper than that.
Because everybody online is making it look like, and don't get me wrong, yet again, I'm saying this now, we are not racist. I am not racist.
I'm definitely not.
Under zero circumstances in this situation, in my personal mindset, unless Austin had a knife as well or was choking him up, something that was going to end up making it look like Karmelo was, like if Karmelo felt he was going to be unalived, that's the only time that I feel like unaliving another person is okay, is unless you felt like it was between you or them.
Your life
that
felt
day.
threatened. Like your life felt threatened.
You know what I'm saying? But in Texas it's different because they have a self-defense, stand your ground law.
Yeah, just like Florida.
Yeah, just like Florida. So he's if he's where he's supposed to be legally, which he was, and they say in Texas everybody carries weapons.
Oh, most definitely.
It's a normal thing in Texas.
Yeah.
There's guns, and I know they have their gas out. People, you could see. I think you could see him in Texas.
Yeah.
You know, but he had a knife, okay, in his book bag. All right, and he said, "Look, anybody try me, that's it." And Austin tried him, unfortunately, and it ended up in his life being ended. But people are so the whole point of we talk about this because people are on Karmelo's side. There are a lot of people on Karmelo's side. You already know it's a lot of black folk because we do believe in defending ourselves, and we do feel like that a lot of black boys end up being demonized behind things and whatnot. This situation doesn't make any black boy look good, but at the same time, if we look at the situation in reverse, if Austin was a white male, will we still be having this? Other than that, people would protest and everything, but at the end of the day, if he said, "Oh, Karmelo touched me, it was self-defense," everybody would believe Austin. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
They will believe Austin because
more than likely
because he's a white male, and if he say, "Hey, this black dude came picking on me," and you already know how us as blacks we look intimidating. We can't even raise our voice a little bit before it looked like, we gonna do something. Not condoning that he murdered him, that he unalived him, because he should not have unalived him. I think it's hurtful, it's painful. I know his parents is going through things. People have raised almost $300,000 for Karmelo so he could get proper legal representation to help with his self-defense case.
My thing is, and I, pick your sides, but what the hell, Karmelo, why do you even have a knife in the first place? See, this is my thing, right?
Yeah.
See, nowadays people saying you gotta have a gun in the house now. You gotta protect yourself because how things going. Mm-hmm. And for me personally, like, I think once you get one, or you carry a knife around or something like that, you might be looking forward to might having to use it one time, and you don't want it. And that's my thing. That's why I don't carry anything, and that's why I didn't purchase nothing.
Yeah. Because
I don't want to have it. I never all my life needed it. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden, once you get it, you might need it. But I'm like, Karmelo, why are you carrying this knife around? Because he didn't know he was going to be doing that or he getting that altercation. Unless something was spewing at school or something, and then it tilted. We don't. The full story ain't there. I didn't get the full story.
Exactly.
I don't even know what's going on.
But that's why now the family advocate, he came out to speak on the story. He said they did not know each other prior to that day. Mm-hmm. But then there was somebody who came out with a photo showing that they might have known each other, but who knows? It's like it's a lot of different stories being put out there. It's definitely more to it. Ain't no way somebody, unless he already planned to be there and knew your boy Metcalf was about to roll up on him. So he was like, okay, he rolled up on me today. I got something for him, because that's the only way that would happen premeditated.
Yeah.
Other than that, something else happened, right? So that call. So we gonna go into that, because there is a witness. There was a witness who came and spoke out. I don't know if he's spoken to the police yet or anything like that, but this witness has gone around TikTok. So we gonna go ahead and play that video.
Hold on.
Finally, y'all, a witness came out and made a statement in the Karmelo Anthony case, and I have to let y'all hear this, because this is the piece I have been missing, that I have been waiting for the witnesses, for the students around the situation to see what happened, and this is what he had to say.
Trying to get back to their cars, or
this is the witness.
Get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra with it. Dude was sitting up on the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah.
He's talking about Karmelo.
I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity, so I'm watching everything going on around it, because I'm there for my children. So, dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent.
He's talking about the twins.
Over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone, just trying to get dry.
Karmelo was on his phone.
They went from another. They grabbed this man.
Grabbed him.
And they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag, and whatever, they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened.
Mind you, this man does not know Karmelo.
It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that's got unalive, and his brother, physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is
wasn't on school property.
Miles away. It was community track meet, bro. It wasn't a school track meet.
Thank you.
Witness on TikTok,
talking
about it.
The B-roll, yeah, he a witness. He came out and said he was there with his kids. Why would he do that?
Because he gonna mess around and have to use everything he said in court.
I hope he go to court, because he have to. I hope he goes to court. He has to, because
things like that, you shouldn't be saying nothing.
Because that's a part of evidence, right? If he's a key witness, then because he's seen it, he should be there saying, "Hey, I was there with my kids. I don't know these two, but this is what I saw." Okay. So yeah, so he did. So this is what he said that. So now that we know that there was more to the altercation, that they was technically trying to jump him. Well, either they tried to jump him or they were jumping him, like touching him, putting their hands on him. Now, do we know toward the magnitude that this was happening? I don't know. But the witness said what he said. The witness is like, look, hey, they was jumping on my mans, period. You see what I'm saying? What is you supposed to do if it's 230-pound boys? I mean, and at 17 to 18, they pretty tall, so they technically like men, coming at you. Unnecessarily at that. Unwarranted. You didn't ask for it. Now, but at the same token, yet again in this case, you got fists, son. You got fists.
Yeah.
Now, even though I know people say, hey, do you expect me to fight multiple people? No, we do not. That's why you just either let them do what they do and then you report to the authorities after that. Even though I ain't gonna lie, even if he would have went to the authorities on Austin and his twin brother, if they did something to him, what was really gonna get done about that?
Exactly.
So see, that's the dilemma that I think that we happen to be in when it comes to these types of situations. But he would have that's just our life. He would have had to just take that. But now, if he gets convicted, he is facing years on years on years because he's being tried as an adult. So he ain't getting out for a long time.
So he 18?
He's 17.
And he gets tried as an adult?
In Texas, you're an adult at 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you get tried at that age. So if they cannot prove that something else went down and that it was self-defense, he's done. He's the done, son. Okay, and I'm speaking this from this perspective. Is not a race thing. I don't agree with the boy being murked, but I do understand that people get triggered, just like we spoke about in the beginning of the video. Why are you walking up to people unwarranted? Done nothing to you. That's why they tell you, don't mess with the quiet person. Don't do nothing to them. Why are you not the police? Why not? Why didn't Austin get, and just not to condemn the boy, because rest in peace, he's gone already. But this is for future reference. If you feel like you don't know, when you don't know people, you really don't know people. You don't know what anyone is capable of.
No, at all.
No one. So
what they're going through.
Or whatever they're going through. They could be right there trying to, some people be sitting there and you would say hi to them that day and they're like, dang, they smiled at me, said hi, but you know what? I was probably going to go ahead and unalive myself today. You don't know what people think.
Yeah.
Or something going on at home. He could have, and mind you, speaking of at home, because I know people think that he's a thug and all that. He had two-parent household. And even if he was a thug, that had nothing to do with his upbringing or his parents. He lived in a good neighborhood. He was raised by good parents. He was raised by, I don't know how good. I don't really know his parents like that. But usually when you raise in a two-parent household, at least you have two parents there.
Yeah,
he wasn't lacking anything.
Right.
And he had a 3.7 GPA. He was good. Even I think the other girl, the girl witness I ran into on TikTok was like that. She was surprised at that from him. So it seemed like he was overall generally a good dude. But he shouldn't have ruined his life. I mean,
at all.
Not over that. But I don't know the extent. And I would love to hear the extent of what happened, why it was necessary to even take it that far. Because honestly, it shouldn't have been.
At all.
It shouldn't have been taken that far. Now, for those of you, because I know there are people donating to the fund, which he does deserve legal representation, just like Austin deserves to be laid to rest properly if his parents can afford it. So people should donate on that too. But in my mindset, I'm just like, at the end of the day, for people saying, oh no, Karmelo shouldn't get any money. Why are they raising money for him? Well, why did they raise money for Zimmerman? Zimmerman straight up murked Trayvon, and all because he had a hoodie and an iced tea. It was warranted. It was cool. It was cool for him to do that, and raise money got raised, and he got off.
Yeah, and he got off. Off the people's money.
Yeah, for messing with someone unwarranted.
Yep.
Okay. Now Karmelo didn't go looking for Austin. Austin came looking for him. That's the difference. So I'm not, even though I'm not condoning it. I'm saying people, you don't know what people going through. You don't know what they got going on. So at the end of the day, this is a human error. And unfortunately, even though I as a human would never do anything like that, and I don't agree that he did it, I understand when he say self-defense, we gotta let see what actually happened in that situation. You see what I'm saying? We gotta let everything come out. All the racism shouldn't even be happening in the situation, because when the shoe on the other foot, it's automatically, he ain't do it. It was innocent. He had the right. He had the right to self-defense if it's on the other foot. You see what I'm saying? So we got to give a boy a chance to have his self-defense claim, Right. And if he don't make it out, then that's on him.
Right.
That's on his bad.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that's going to the extreme. Stabbing someone in the heart at that is going to the extreme. In my personal opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely don't. I don't think murder is the way to go. Unaliving is not the way.
Like I said in the last video earlier, putting your hands on somebody, using deadly force, none of it is worth it. None of them you shouldn't be doing in the first place.
Absolutely.
Point blank, period.
Point blank. That's it. That's it, and that's all. At the same time, we also got to be fair. All the people talking online about, he a thug, he did that. We don't know this boy. Just like we didn't know Austin.
Well, people going to say what they want to say, and that's what they do online.
Yeah.
They just talk that. They don't really know.
They don't know nothing. Yeah. They don't know Austin, and you don't know Karmelo. So you don't know what happened. And just like the father said, hey, keep your mouth off of it. Don't stop spreading rumors because you wasn't there. If you wasn't there, you have no room.
Shut it up.
You have no room to say.
Shut your mouth.
What you feel like happened and how it happened and all that. And I totally agree with that. So we just stating the facts, just reporting on the story. But I do want to say that at the end of the day, I think people should not be condoning murder unalivings under any circumstances. Mm-hmm. No certain, whether you white, black, Indian, Hispanic, woman, man, I don't care. Nobody murder nobody.
No, at all. Period.
That's it. Unless your life is unless you think your life is about to go, that's when that shit okay. Outside of that is not okay. Okay? So unless he feared for his life, I don't see how that he thought that was something that he should do. So that's mental health. We got to talk about all type of things because he could get off on some mental health, to be honest, if they test him.
That's true.
So we just got to see. But that's so anybody who didn't know about that story, there it is. If you didn't know about that story, please tell us in the comments what you think, what side you're on. It doesn't matter. I get it. I get how this go. I get the fairness of the situation. So if you're on Austin's side, there shouldn't be a side.
It shouldn't even be no side.
It shouldn't be no side. It should be. It should be these two boys' lives are ruined. One is gone, and the other one's going to jail for life over some stupidity.
Yep.
Okay, that's what it should be. But we do need to deal with that self-defense situation. So if he say it was self-defense, then they have to prove that and battle that out in court, and I'm sure they will. So they said there's video, and they haven't showed it. So we'll find out soon. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Anything else, bro?
No, we good on this one.
We good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Y'all stay blessed out there. Look, we need 1,000 subscribers. Please help us out. Like, comment, and sub right now. Okay? We love y'all. I'm Meesh. To the left me is my bro, Jay.
You know it.
Peace.